The sun's rays filtered through the water, casting a mesmerizing dance of light across the surface of Howe Sound. As Oliver Anderson plunged into the refreshing waters off the shores of British Columbia, he had no idea that this seemingly ordinary September day would change his life forever. Despite more than a decade of diving experience, countless dives, and an extensive collection of underwater photographs, he was unprepared for the extraordinary moment that lay ahead. Visibility that day was exceptional, around 30 meters. Though the water was a cool 12 degrees Celsius, it was remarkably clear. Oliver swam leisurely among the swaying kelp forests, his camera capturing the vibrant marine life beneath him. Bright sea stars scattered across the rocky bottom caught his eye, and he moved in for a closer shot. Then he felt it, an almost imperceptible shift in the water's movement. Something large was nearby. Expecting to see a curious seal, or perhaps even a small orca, Oliver turned slowly. But what he saw left him frozen in amazement. A young humpback whale, no more than 4 meters long, swam just a few meters away. Its movements were unusual, jerky, almost hesitant. Unlike most humpbacks, which glide through the water with effortless grace, this calf kept glancing at Oliver as if checking whether he was watching. Its small, expressive eyes conveyed something deeper than curiosity, worry, maybe even a silent plea for help. Oliver held his breath and switched on his camera. Witnessing such an intimate encounter with a wild whale calf was extraordinary. But the young whale showed no interest in being filmed. Instead, it swam closer, nearly brushing against Oliver with its massive fin, then darted away, only to return moments later. The pattern repeated several times, its urgency growing clearer. With each pass, the calf was trying to communicate. After the 5th or 6th pass, the young whale abruptly changed direction and swam away. It covered about 20 meters before stopping, turning back as if to check whether Oliver was following. He hesitated. Following a wild animal into open waters could be dangerous, but something about the calf, its insistence, its desperation, compelled him to act. Checking his air gauge and compass, Oliver began to follow. They swam northeast, farther from shore. The depth increased and the sunlight grew dimmer. Every 30 to 40 meters, the calf would pause, ensuring Oliver was still behind. After nearly 500 meters, they reached a small underwater valley, and that's when Oliver saw it. His blood ran cold. Massive adult humpback whale, at least 14 meters long, hung almost motionless in the water. Its body was covered in an unusual gray mass. As Oliver drew closer, he realized what it was: barnacles. But these weren't the typical small clusters of crustaceans commonly found on whales. This was a thick, solid layer, several centimeters deep in some places. The barnacles coated almost the entire body, leaving only small patches around the eyes and blowhole untouched. The calf swam to the larger whale, its mother, Oliver assumed, and nudged her gently as if trying to wake her. But the massive whale barely responded, weakly flicking her tail fin. Even through the water, Oliver could see how labored and uneven her breathing was. He had to do something. Wasting no time, Oliver cautiously approached, his hands trembling as he retrieved a titanium knife from his belt. Barnacles in such numbers were a sign of serious health problems. A healthy whale's immune system would never allow parasites to multiply to this extent. Something had severely weakened this magnificent creature. Carefully, Oliver began scraping away the largest clusters. The work was painstaking and difficult. He had to be precise, not injuring the whale's delicate skin, yet applying enough force to remove the deeply embedded barnacles. The calf swam in circles nearby, releasing low, resonant sounds that vibrated through the water. It was as if it understood what Oliver was doing, urging him on. The mother whale, meanwhile, remained almost motionless, her massive eyes slowly blinking whenever Oliver entered her line of sight. Half an hour passed. Oliver had managed to clear an area about the size of a dining table, but it was barely a fraction of what needed to be done. The barnacles covered nearly her entire body. He couldn't do this alone. Glancing at his air gauge, he realized his tank was running low. He had to surface. Oliver quickly memorized his location, then kicked upward, breaking through the surface. Gasping for air, he scrambled onto his boat and grabbed the radio. His voice shook with urgency. "This is Oliver Anderson, certified diver. I'm about a mile northeast of the entrance to Howe Sound. I've found an adult humpback whale in critical condition. Its body is almost entirely covered in barnacles, and it's nearly immobile. There's a calf nearby." The dispatcher on the other end was experienced, asking a series of rapid-fire questions: size, depth, condition. Then came the words Oliver had hoped for. "A rescue team is on the way. ETA 1 hour. That hour felt like an eternity. Oliver periodically dove with his mask, checking on the whales. The calf, sensing that help was coming, had calmed. No longer restless, it stayed close to its mother, brushing against her with its fin from time to time. Then, finally, on the horizon, a specialized marine mammal rescue vessel. On board were 6 crew members, 2 veterinarians specializing in marine mammals, 3 rescue operations specialists, and a cetacean behavior expert. After assessing the situation, the team immediately got to work. 2 divers descended, equipped with specialized tools far more effective than Oliver's knife. They used hydraulic scrapers designed to remove parasites without harming the whale's skin. The work was slow but steady. Every hour, the divers rotated to conserve air. Oliver, after receiving permission from the operation leader, joined the team, assisting wherever he could. The calf remained close, watching intently as if it understood the rescue efforts. Once the majority of the barnacles had been removed, the veterinarians proceeded with a more detailed examination. What they discovered deeply concerned them. But before we continue, I'd like to take a moment to ask you to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support means a lot to us. Thank you. Now back to the story. The rescue team noticed a small swelling on the whale's side, an unusual sight for this species. Using a portable underwater ultrasound scanner, they quickly identified the cause: a foreign object lodged in the whale's stomach. After a brief consultation, the team made a difficult decision. The whale needed immediate surgery, and the only way to save her was to transport her to the nearest marine mammal rehabilitation center. It was a risky operation. The whale was already weak, and any added stress could be fatal. But without urgent intervention, her chances of survival were slim. Using a specially designed inflatable pontoon and a tugboat, the team carefully transported her to shore. The calf never left her side, swimming alongside the vessel the entire way, never straying more than a meter. Once at the rehabilitation center, the veterinary team wasted no time. They prepared for emergency surgery. What they found inside her stomach shocked everyone: a large piece of industrial fishing net, saturated with toxic chemicals. A laboratory analysis confirmed the worst. The net had been treated with tributyltin, one of the most toxic pollutants in the marine environment. "This is a chemical time bomb," explained Dr. Chen, the lead veterinarian, holding up the lab results. When the whale ingested this net, the chemicals started dissolving in her stomach acid. The toxins entered her bloodstream, accumulating in her fatty tissues, slowly poisoning her entire system. The extent of the damage was severe. The whale's liver was swollen to twice its normal size, its tissues visibly inflamed. Her kidneys were failing, struggling to filter out the toxins. Her immune system had nearly shut down, allowing the massive barnacle infestation to take hold. Dr. Chen shook his head as he studied the blood work. Another 3 or 4 days, and the damage would have been irreversible. He glanced at Oliver. That's why she couldn't move properly. The toxins partially paralyzed her muscles. If it hadn't been for the calf's intelligence and your quick action, we would have lost them both. Oliver examined the piece of net under a microscope. Embedded in its fibers were tiny crystals of the toxic substances. These anti-fouling coatings were banned in the early 2000s because of their extreme toxicity, a lab technician explained, but some companies still use them, especially in regions with less strict environmental regulations. For the next 3 weeks, the mother whale and her calf remained in a dedicated rehabilitation pool. Oliver visited nearly every day, assisting, in their care and documenting their progress. Slowly, the mother whale's health improved. Her wounds healed, toxin levels in her blood dropped, and her appetite returned. The calf never left her side. The rescue center staff marveled at his unwavering loyalty. If he hadn't insisted on seeking help, one said, we would never have known his mother was in danger. By mid-October, when all health indicators had returned to normal, the decision was made. It was time to release them back into the wild. The day was clear and warm. Dozens of people gathered along the shore to witness the emotional moment. Oliver, on one of the escort boats, had his camera ready. The gates of the rehabilitation pool opened, but the whales hesitated. For several minutes they lingered near the entrance, as if processing the moment, getting used to the idea of freedom. Then, as if making a decision, they dove simultaneously and swam toward the open ocean. But just as everyone thought they were gone, they stopped, turning back toward the Howway. Both whales breached, leaping almost entirely out of the water before crashing back down with a loud splash. To those watching, it seemed like a farewell, a gesture of gratitude for the humans who had saved them. Then, without hesitation, they turned and headed north, beginning their long migration to their wintering grounds near the coast of Hawaii. In the months that followed, the story of their rescue spread worldwide. Environmental journals and scientific publications highlighted the calf's remarkable behavior. An extremely rare case of a whale actively seeking human help, Oliver remained deeply connected to the whales he had saved. Thanks to tracking tags attached before their release, scientists monitored their journey, confirming that they had successfully reached the warm Hawaiian waters, joining a larger group of humpbacks. Then, the following summer, something incredible happened. Oliver, now diving regularly in the same area, spotted familiar spouts on the horizon. Approaching by boat, he recognized them instantly. The mother and calf had returned to their summer feeding grounds. They looked strong and healthy. The mother's body bore almost no trace of her ordeal, except for a small scar on her side, a reminder of the surgery that had saved her life. For nearly an hour, the whales lingered near Oliver's boat. He took photos, capturing every moment. At one point, the young whale, now visibly larger, ventured close, gently brushing against the boat with his fin. Their story became a powerful symbol of marine conservation, a reminder of the deep connection between humans and ocean life. Thanks to the compassion of one man and the dedication of a rescue team, two magnificent creatures were given a second chance at life. For Oliver, the experience was life-changing. He left his old job and fully dedicated himself to marine conservation, joining the very rescue center that had helped save the whales. Now, he participates in rescue operations, helping other marine animals in distress. The photos and videos he captured became part of an educational program on ocean conservation, raising awareness about marine pollution and its devastating impact. Every year, as the humpbacks return to British Columbia's waters, Oliver sets out to sea, hoping to see his whales again. He knows the chances are slim. But after what he witnessed, he also knows something else. Miracles are possible. Did you enjoy this story? If you ever saw a whale in distress, would you try to help? Let us know in the comments. If you liked this video, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. It really helps us bring you more incredible stories like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Have a great day.